Welcome back to our channel. Today we delve into the fascinating and tumultuous life of William Holden, one of Hollywood's most beloved stars. Known for his all-American charm, dashing good looks, and unforgettable performances, Holden captivated audiences around the globe. Yet behind the glitz and glamour lay a man battling inner demons, enduring personal heartbreak, and facing scandals that would leave an indelible mark on his legacy. From his meteoric rise to fame, dramatic relationships, and struggles with addiction to the tragic and shocking circumstances of his untimely death, Holden's story is one of triumph and tragedy. Join us as we uncover the secrets, scandals, and heartbreak that shaped the life of this golden age icon in William Holden's scandalous undoing. William Holden's life was a complex tapestry of glamour and grief, and his childhood offers a window into the roots of both his charm and inner struggles. Born on April 17, 1918, in the small town of O'Fallon, Illinois, Holden's story began in a quintessentially all-American setting. His birth name, William Franklin Beadle, Jr., reflected his humble beginnings, far removed from the glitzy world of Hollywood that would later define him. O'Fallon was a tight-knit community, and Holden's early years were marked by family bonds, simple pleasures, and a seemingly idyllic small-town life. Yet even as a child, Holden harbored a restless energy, finding his quiet surroundings unremarkable and craving something more exciting. That excitement came with a family emergency that uprooted his life and set him on an unexpected path. Holden's father, a hard-working man exposed to harmful chemicals in his job, developed a chronic lung condition that necessitated a move to California, where the warmer climate promised some relief. For young Holden, this relocation was both thrilling and life-altering. California's bustling streets were a stark contrast to the slower pace of O'Fallon, igniting in him a sense of adventure and adaptability. However, the sunshine of California couldn't keep the shadows away for long. His father's health took a sharp decline, leaving the family in a state of crisis. At a tender age, Holden was thrust into a position of responsibility far beyond his years. With his father bedridden, he became the de facto head of the household, ensuring his younger siblings were cared for and their daily routines stayed intact. The weight of these responsibilities could have crushed many, but Holden displayed remarkable resilience, channeling his energy into constructive outlets. It was during this challenging period that Holden found solace in three key pursuits: the Boy Scouts, athletics, and acting. Each served as a lifeline, offering him a sense of purpose and a temporary escape from the pressures at home. While his athleticism kept him physically active, it was acting that truly captured his imagination and began shaping his future. His natural charisma and talent for memorizing lines made him stand out in school plays, where his performances commanded attention and praise. Teachers quickly noticed his knack for the spotlight, consistently casting him in lead roles and nurturing his budding passion for the stage. Holden's early experiences in acting were more than just extracurricular activities. They were a training ground for the poised and magnetic star he would become. But these moments of promise were set against a backdrop of personal challenges, hinting at the duality that would define his life. A charismatic exterior masking a deeper, more complicated reality. This foundation, forged in both adversity and ambition, set the stage for Holden's remarkable journey from a small-town boy to one of Hollywood's brightest stars. William Holden's journey to Hollywood stardom was as unexpected as it was transformative, and it all began with a serendipitous moment in 1938. While performing in a local Pasadena play, his portrayal of an elderly man caught the attention of talent scout Milt Lewis, who was captivated by Holden's commanding voice and magnetic stage presence. It was a life-changing encounter that propelled the 20-year-old into the orbit of Paramount Pictures, earning him a 7-year contract and opening the door to the glittering world of cinema. But Hollywood wasn't about to roll out the red carpet without testing Holden's resolve. His first major break came with Golden Boy, 1939, a role that demanded far more than good looks. Despite the promising start, Holden's first major role in Golden Boy demanded more than just charm. It tested his physical endurance and mental fortitude. His grueling schedule often stretched from dawn until well past midnight, testing both his physical endurance and mental fortitude. This relentless preparation pushed him to his limits, and at times, the pressure felt overwhelming. Still, Holden's natural charisma and undeniable talent began to shine through. His performance in Golden Boy not only introduced him to the world as a leading man, but also solidified his image as Hollywood's next heartthrob. Fans were drawn to his boyish charm and striking good looks, and women in particular became infatuated with him. One of the most defining moments in William Holden's illustrious career came in 1954 when he won the Academy Award for Best Actor for his riveting performance in Stalag 17. Directed by Billy Wilder, the film showcased Holden as a wisecracking but resourceful prisoner of war who navigates treachery and survival in a German camp. His portrayal was a masterclass in balancing humor and vulnerability, earning him widespread acclaim and cementing his status as one of Hollywood's greatest talents. This Oscar win wasn't just a career milestone, it was a testament to Holden's remarkable ability to breathe life into complex characters, leaving an indelible mark on cinema history. However, beneath this rising fame lay an undercurrent of self-doubt. Holden often questioned his abilities, a vulnerability that made him relatable, but also led him down a troubling path. To calm his nerves and bolster his confidence on set, Holden turned to alcohol. At first, it was just a small crutch to help him relax under the intense scrutiny of the cameras. But this reliance on alcohol would eventually grow into a persistent struggle that followed him throughout his career. Even as his star continued to rise, this darker side of Holden's life served as a stark reminder that fame and fortune could not shield him from personal battles. His debut in Golden Boy was a baptism by fire, and while the road ahead would hold both triumphs and trials, it marked the beginning of an extraordinary career. Returning to Paramount, William Holden's career gained steady momentum as he showcased his versatility in a series of diverse roles. In Those Were the Days, 1940, he starred alongside Benita Granville, followed by a heartfelt portrayal of George Gibbs in the film adaptation of Our Town, 1940, produced for United Artists. These performances demonstrated Holden's ability to captivate audiences, further cementing his place in Hollywood's rising elite. Columbia Pictures soon cast Holden in the Western drama Arizona, 1940, sharing the screen with the iconic Jean Arthur. He then returned to Paramount to star in the wartime drama I Wanted Wings, 1941, a box office hit co-starring Ray Milland and Veronica Lake. These roles highlighted Holden's growing range and appeal, proving he was more than just a pretty face. Holden continued to explore his craft with another Western, Texas, 1941, alongside Glenn Ford, and ventured into musical comedy with The Fleet's In, 1942, where he shared the spotlight with Eddie Bracken, Dorothy Lamour, and Betty Hutton. He further demonstrated his knack for blending drama and humor in The Remarkable Andrew, 1942, with Brian Donlevy, and in Meet the Stewarts, 1943, a lighthearted Columbia production. Paramount reunited Holden and Eddie Bracken for the romantic comedy Young and Willing, 1943, a film that showcased Holden's undeniable charm and ability to hold his own in an ensemble cast. The late 1960s and 1970s marked a fascinating chapter in William Holden's career, showcasing both his resilience as an actor and his ability to reinvent himself. In 1969, Holden stunned audiences with his performance in the gritty western The Wild Bunch, directed by Sam Peckinpah. Known for its graphic violence and groundbreaking storytelling, the film earned widespread acclaim and cemented Holden's reputation as a versatile actor willing to push boundaries. That same year, Holden displayed a softer side in the family drama L'Arbre de Noël, released in the U.S. as The Christmas Tree, directed by Terrence Young, starring alongside Italian actress Verna Lisi and French actor Bourvil. Holden delivered a heartfelt performance in this adaptation of Michel Bataille's novel. However, this quiet, poignant film was overshadowed by his success in westerns. He later reunited with the genre in Wild Rovers, 1971, directed by Blake Edwards, and The Revengers, 1972, though neither film achieved significant box office success. Holden's television career reached a new peak in 1974 when he earned a Primetime Emmy Award for his gripping performance as a tough, world-weary cop in The Blue Knight, a mini-series adaptation of Joseph Wambaugh's best-selling novel. This recognition underscored his enduring talent and ability to command attention across different mediums. There is an unconfirmed story about William. In the quiet hills of Southern California, William Holden often retreated to a modest ranch he affectionately called Sunset. This ranch, nestled between rolling fields and a small lake, was his sanctuary, a place where the Hollywood star could shed the glitz and glamour and simply be himself. For the locals, the ranch was a source of intrigue. Holden, despite his fame, would stroll through the nearby town with an old fedora, a warm smile, and a bottle of bourbon tucked under his arm. One evening, during a particularly stormy winter in 1975, Holden hosted a small gathering at the ranch. Among the guests were close friends from the industry, including a screenwriter named Max, a young actor looking for advice, and an aspiring conservationist who had reached out to Holden about preserving wildlife in Africa. The storm outside mirrored Holden's inner turmoil. His drinking had become a shadow he couldn't escape, and the night's conversations only heightened his feelings of guilt. Max had brought a script, a gritty war drama that Holden knew could revive his career, but the thought of stepping into another emotionally draining role was almost unbearable. As the evening wore on, the conversation turned to stories of Hollywood scandals and regrets. Holden, uncharacteristically candid, shared a story he'd never told anyone. Years ago, on the set of Sunset Boulevard, I was at a crossroads, he began. I was terrified I'd ruin the film. One night I snuck off set and drove to Griffith Park. I sat there until sunrise, thinking about whether I could keep doing this, keep living up to everyone's expectations. In the end, I came back. Not because I wanted to, but because I was too scared to leave. I've been running ever since. The room fell silent, save for the crackle of the fire. One of the younger guests asked, "What would you have done if you had left?" Holden chuckled, the lines on his face deepening. "I'd probably be running a ranch like this, raising cattle and fighting off coyotes. Maybe I'd be happy, or maybe I'd just find something else to run from." As the storm raged on, the group lingered by the fire, drinking and sharing more stories. By morning, the storm had passed, leaving the air crisp and the ground wet with dew. Holden, bleary-eyed but smiling, walked to the lake alone. He stood there staring at the reflection of the sunrise and whispered to himself, "Maybe it's time to stop running." Holden returned to the big screen with Breezy, 1973, a Clint Eastwood-directed drama that, while a box office failure, showcased his willingness to take creative risks. Later that year, he starred alongside Paul Newman and Steve McQueen in the disaster epic The Towering Inferno. The film became a massive commercial success, earning critical acclaim and standing as one of the highest-grossing movies of Holden's career. In 1976, Holden delivered one of his most memorable late-career performances in Sidney Lumet's Network. Portraying a disillusioned news executive in a biting critique of media culture, Holden earned an Academy Award nomination, adding another highlight to his illustrious career. His nuanced performance as a man grappling with his mortality and the decay of his values struck a chord with audiences and critics alike. Around this time, he also appeared in 21 Hours at Munich, 1976, further demonstrating his enduring commitment to complex, challenging roles. William Holden continued to demonstrate his dedication to complex and varied roles, even as his career neared its end. In 1978, he reunited with director Billy Wilder for what would be their fourth and final collaboration, Fedora. The film, a nostalgic nod to the Hollywood of yesteryear, allowed Holden to reflect on the industry that had shaped his life. That same year, Holden appeared in Damien. Omen 2, the chilling sequel to the horror classic The Omen, showcasing his ability to captivate audiences in darker, more sinister stories. Around this time, he also took on a guest role in Escape to Athena, acting alongside his real-life partner, Stephanie Powers. Holden's career remained varied as he tackled supporting roles in Ashanti, 1979, and the disaster film When Time Ran Out, 1980, though the latter was a commercial failure. However, he redeemed himself with a powerful performance in The Earthling, 1980. In this poignant film, Holden played a terminally ill man traveling through the Australian wilderness, forming an emotional bond with a young orphan played by Ricky Schroeder. His final screen appearance came in Blake Edwards' dark comedy S.O.B., 1981, starring alongside Julie Andrews. Despite his declining health, Holden's charisma and skill remained evident. He ultimately turned down a role in Jason Miller's That Championship season, marking the end of a remarkable career filled with triumphs, challenges, and unforgettable performances. During his acting career, William Holden's acting style possessed a quiet intensity that often drew comparisons to Hollywood icon Gary Cooper. Both actors had a gift for conveying complex emotions with subtlety, capturing the depth of their characters without relying on theatrics. This shared naturalistic approach made Holden a perfect fit for roles requiring inner conflict and understated strength, particularly in westerns and dramas. Yet Holden's edge lay in his ability to balance this stoic depth with a magnetic charm that gave his performances a distinctive warmth. Where Cooper's characters often embodied the rugged simplicity of the American frontier, Holden's roles carried an emotional resonance that felt more reflective of a changing, conflicted world, one that resonated deeply with mid-century audiences. William Holden's personal life was as dramatic and layered as the characters he portrayed on screen. During the filming of Invisible Stripes, he met Brenda Marshall, a stunning actress with a magnetic presence. Marshall, who was married at the time and a mother to a young daughter, initially kept Holden at a distance. However, the chemistry between them was undeniable. After a period of courtship, Marshall divorced her husband, and in 1941 she and Holden eloped to Las Vegas, beginning a marriage that would be both a partnership and a battleground. The early years of their union seemed to promise a bright future. Holden was head over heels, and Marshall appeared to be his perfect match, a woman of grace and independence who supported him through the highs and lows of his burgeoning career. But the marriage faced its first major test with the outbreak of World War II. Driven by a sense of duty, Holden enlisted in the Air Force, leaving his young wife behind to manage their home. While Holden hoped to serve in combat like his brother, his fame relegated him to a different kind of service, participating in talent shows, rallies, and training films. This role, though vital to the war effort, left Holden feeling inadequate and guilty. His brother's death in combat only deepened his emotional scars, casting a long shadow over his sense of identity. When the war ended in 1945, Holden returned to Hollywood, eager to rebuild his career and focus on his family. He adopted Marshall's daughter from her first marriage, and together they had 2 sons, creating what seemed to be the picture-perfect American family. Yet behind closed doors, Holden wrestled with feelings of guilt and inadequacy. He couldn't shake the sense that he had failed his brother and didn't truly deserve the life he had built. These inner struggles, combined with the pressures of maintaining a Hollywood career, began to weigh heavily on his marriage. In an attempt to stabilize their home life, Holden persuaded Marshall to retire from acting and focus on their family. However, this decision came with its own complications. Marshall, who had been an accomplished actress earning far more than her husband, gave up her career at Holden's request. This shift in their dynamic created financial strain, particularly when Holden's career hit a rough patch. The couple's relationship grew increasingly strained as Holden dealt with professional setbacks and struggled to provide for their family on his own. The cracks in their marriage were subtle at first, but became more pronounced as Holden's career ebbed and flowed. While he tried to embody the ideal family man, his insecurities, guilt, and the relentless demands of Hollywood made it an impossible balancing act. This chapter of Holden's life reveals the complexity of a man torn between his public persona and the private struggles that defined his most intimate relationships. As his career soared, scandal seemed to follow closely, casting a shadow over his carefully crafted Hollywood persona. His breakout role in Sunset Boulevard not only cemented his status as one of the most sought-after actors of his time, but also intensified the cracks in his personal relationships. The fame that came with the role became a source of resentment for his wife, Brenda Marshall, who had sacrificed her own acting career for their family. Her frustrations often surfaced in biting remarks that further strained their already fragile marriage. Amid this tension, Holden's charm and allure led to a string of extramarital affairs, the most notable being with Audrey Hepburn during the filming of Sabrina. Hepburn, known for her elegance and grace, seemed to offer Holden a reprieve from the pressures of his troubled home life. Their chemistry on and off screen was undeniable, and Holden fell deeply for her, even proposing marriage. However, their relationship was doomed from the start. Hepburn, dreaming of a family, was devastated to learn that Holden, having undergone a vasectomy, could not have more children. This revelation drove a wedge between them, and Hepburn ultimately ended the affair, leaving Holden heartbroken. While their affair remained largely discreet during its time, whispers of their relationship eventually surfaced, sending ripples through Hollywood circles. Fans were shocked to learn of Holden's betrayal of his seemingly perfect family life, while others romanticized his connection with Hepburn as a tragic love story destined for heartbreak. The press, ever hungry for scandal, fed the public's fascination with glimpses into their private lives, further complicating Holden's already strained marriage. Despite the end of his romance with Hepburn, Holden's pattern of infidelity persisted. His next high-profile affair was with Grace Kelly, a woman as glamorous and enigmatic as he was. Their relationship, however, faced public scrutiny when a scandalous article exposed their tryst. For an actor with a squeaky clean image, the revelations were damaging, tarnishing his reputation as the ideal leading man. Yet Holden's undeniable talent kept audiences captivated, even as the media buzzed with tales of his indiscretions. Holden's involvement with Capucine, a stunning French actress, added yet another layer to his turbulent love life. Tabloids painted him as a heartbreaker, sparking polarized reactions from the public. Some admired his allure and ability to charm Hollywood's most iconic women, while others condemned his disregard for marital fidelity. As these stories played out in headlines, Holden's personal escapades were often accompanied by his growing dependence on alcohol, creating a toxic combination that strained both his health and his relationships. While his professional life continued to flourish with critical and commercial successes, like Stalag 17 and The Bridge on the River Kwai, his personal life spiraled further out of control. The stark contrast between his public triumphs and private struggles painted a picture of a man caught in the relentless push and pull of fame and human frailty. The media's obsession with his personal life amplified his inner turmoil, turning his relationships and mistakes into fodder for public consumption. Behind the charm and wit that endeared him to audiences was a man grappling with his insecurities and seeking solace in fleeting connections. His story serves as a poignant reminder of the cost of stardom, the toll of living in the public eye, and the complexities of a life lived in the spotlight. As William Holden aged, the relentless demands of his career and the mounting weight of his personal struggles began to take a devastating toll. By the 1960s, his reliance on alcohol had spiraled out of control, and the effects were evident not just in his personal relationships, but also in his physical and emotional well-being. The once dashing star, known for his vibrant presence and boundless energy, now found himself grappling with the ravages of a long-standing battle with addiction. The breaking point came during the filming of The Lion. While on location in Africa, Holden's excessive drinking led to a dramatic collapse that shocked everyone around him. This incident forced him to confront the realities of his deteriorating health and the strain it had placed on his marriage. Deciding to prioritize his career and well-being, Holden ended his marriage to Brenda Marshall, marking the end of a union that had weathered decades of highs and lows. Despite his intentions to regain control, Holden's battle with alcoholism proved relentless. His drinking, which once seemed a coping mechanism, became his Achilles heel, a constant force undermining his efforts to rebuild his life. While his professional achievements during this time reflected his enduring talent, the cracks in his personal life grew wider. On November 12, 1981, a devastating tragedy unfolded, one that still lingers in the minds of those who remember William Holden's legacy. In a grim turn of events, the once dashing star of Hollywood's golden age was alone in his apartment. His life tragically cut short in a way that no script could have foreseen. Under the influence of alcohol, Holden lost his footing, slipping and hitting his head against a bedside table. The impact was severe, but it was the chilling aftermath that truly magnified the tragedy. Forensic evidence later revealed a haunting reality. Holden remained conscious for up to 30 agonizing minutes after the fall. Bleeding profusely and unable to summon help, he lay there fully aware of his plight, but powerless to change it. The image of such a vibrant, larger-than-life figure reduced to this helpless state adds an unsettling poignancy to his story. It was a moment that underscored the fragility of even the most seemingly indomitable lives. Holden's death marked a heartbreaking conclusion to a career and life filled with brilliance, struggle, and complexity. William Holden's passing was met with an outpouring of grief from friends, fans, and colleagues alike. Among those who mourned him was his close friend, President Ronald Reagan, who paid tribute to Holden's life and legacy. True to his wishes, there were no grand memorials or public tributes. His remains were cremated and his ashes quietly scattered into the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean. This understated farewell stood in stark contrast to the glittering world of Hollywood in which he had reigned. Beyond his remarkable career in Hollywood, William Holden's legacy extended far into the natural world. A passionate advocate for wildlife conservation, Holden dedicated much of his later years to preserving Kenya's diverse ecosystems. His efforts culminated in the establishment of the William Holden Wildlife Foundation, WHWF, in 1982, shortly after his passing. The foundation, co-founded by his partner Stefani Powers, focuses on protecting endangered species and educating local communities about sustainable conservation practices. Holden's love for nature wasn't just a pastime, it was a mission. He often spent months in Kenya, where he immersed himself in the challenges of preserving wildlife. This lesser-known chapter of his life reveals a deeply compassionate side of the Golden Age icon, demonstrating that his impact reached far beyond the silver screen. The simplicity of his final goodbye served as a poignant reminder of the duality of his existence, a man who dazzled audiences with his talent, yet struggled privately with his demons. William Holden's passing not only left a void in the entertainment world, but also offered a sobering reflection on the vulnerabilities hidden behind the facade of fame. His story, both inspiring and cautionary, continues to resonate, reminding us of the complexities that often accompany greatness. Holden's passing was more than the loss of a beloved actor. It was a reminder of the silent battles many face, hidden beneath the glitz and glamour of fame. His story, though marked by extraordinary achievements, also serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unaddressed struggles and the fragility of even the brightest stars. As we reflect on William Holden's life, we remember both the brilliance he brought to the screen and the humanity that made his journey so profoundly relatable. If you found this exploration of Holden's life compelling, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more stories that uncover the people behind the legends. Thank you for joining us. And that brings us to the end of William Holden's remarkable yet turbulent journey. A star whose light shone brightly on screen, but whose personal battles often cast shadows on his life. From the heights of fame to the depths of his struggles, Holden's legacy is a complex tapestry of talent, charisma, and human vulnerability. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the life of Hollywood's golden boy, don't forget to leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more captivating stories about the lives behind the legends. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.